I am Nisha Tandon, the Director of Art Sector. I came to Northern Ireland 1977 and I grew up in south of Delhi, which is a very cosmopolitan part of Delhi, and my schooling was in Delhi Public School, which is one of the best schools of India, and it is the best school of all over India, not just Delhi. And my education was co-education, and it was integrated education, and my school was from nursery right up till high school. Okay. So you stayed within the suburbs of that school till you're ready to leave school and go to university or further college or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My favorite things were to be part of very much of a cultural and sporty side of life of my school, and traveling all over India. Okay. You know, with that cultural experience and being part of that whole cultural unit. And I have some photographs if you want to even have a look at them, my school photographs, yeah. You know, and winning awards and being part of the dance troops and sports troops and traveling all over India for that reason. And it was great. Yeah. And also I had lovely memories of my school friends who I am in touch with, and you know, the what we did and what we created and how we got on in school was just absolutely amazing. My expectations of Northern Ireland were totally different. I thought that I will be the minute you land, there will be a lot of things for me. Because obviously, you know, you're brought up in that type of environment, but it wasn't to be, and I didn't know that the conflict problems, and I didn't know about the weather, the food, and all that sort of stuff. You know, so there was a lot of, shall I say, differences, okay. You know, and what I had thought of being part of, or what I had thought of Northern Ireland, it wasn't what I expected it to be when I arrived here. It was dark, it was grey, you know, and we didn't even have a house to live in, and you were living in a one bedroom, you know, and confined into that area. No friends, nothing, no telephone. You know that you don't even have a phone in your bed set, and mobile phones in those days were weren't around. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, there were a lot of difference, and weather was the big. And then you didn't see any Asian people at all. Yeah. It was a very white city. Yeah. Clothes were basically what you get given to you whenever you get married. So those were my clothes, very jazzy, very bright, and very Indian. But whenever I landed here and went to the shops, it was very dark, grey, brown, navy, and August was like a month of November. You know, it was very cold. So yeah. I mean, the clothes were not fit for the purpose for Northern Ireland. That's what I'm trying to say. The first thing which I wanted to do was to work hard, and to work hard. Well, I never had worked in my life before, so and obviously to get your own house or your own space, you have to have a focus. So my focus was that I need to get a job, whether it is even working somewhere in a chippy or working anywhere. So what I did was, I got a full-time job and part-time education.
Other way around.
Other way around. And that it meant because I didn't know that there were evening classes existed, and there was open universities, and you know, all those sort of things. Because when you start to do more depth work, then you know exactly what this is all about. So I did that, and I got a job, and that was my first job ever. I landed here, I still remember, 15th of August 1977, and I got my job on 10th of September 1977 in a flower shop, on Dublin Road. Yeah, I remember the first wage I got was £70 for a week.
Well, by today's standards it's a wee bit different, but it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad, but I think that, in those days, or in nowadays as well, I think it was always that you needed to have two wages coming in. If you want to have a comfortable life, it's not that you can rely upon one wage to pay mortgage and pay all that sort of stuff, and to save on top of it as well. So yeah, I think £70 was good enough, per week's work. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Castlereagh, I was the only Indian in that, in those days, in evening time, going to the tech. But no, I think everybody was very, very inquisitive, and they just wanted to know more about your journey, about why did you come, and what your culture is like, and weather, and so there was always very many questions asked. If, say, for example, you're 5-10 minutes early in the class, and there's like another 10 students who are there, they will be asking a lot of things, which was good.
So then, you've maybe touched on this already, but what did you miss about home then whenever you were here? Was it just really the loneliness or the weather? Or
it was all that. And food, because I was never into eating big meaty stuff, here. It was all sausage, bacon, potato bread and all that. This Ulster fry was so famous. No, we just was not used to it. But during the weekdays, you would eat. It's disgusting now when you think of it. And eat things like fish fingers and peas and all that sort of stuff. Oh, I know it's very baby food, but I don't think so. There was many in those days. There were not many pizzas and things like that as well. And it was like, you can get potato bake, or you can get cauliflower bake, or what. I wasn't a vegetarian at that time, so I was a meat eater. But again, when I say meat eater, I was more chicken and fish eater, and not a meat eater. So I did eat quite a lot of chickens dishes and all that sort of stuff, but it was everything was very white sauce and white sauce. It was nothing really, or poached eggs or whatever, so that was my very much a diet. There used to be just a small hub of community, shall I say, leaders, or community people who got together and used to pool in money, and would ask people to give money as well, and will bring Indian cinema, and it was in Strand Town, the Strand Cinema, if you would know. So Strand Cinema was the first cinema hall where they put Indian films on.
Very good. When was that? Do you think that
I think that was in 1979 or 1978, something like that there, I would remember. And then 2 years it developed. And from that cinema, then this building came up. It was, and then food will be prepared by the ladies. And then everybody will sit together and eat food and everything.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it was actually, it was more of a very close-knit community in those days. And it was really good, and I really, really, really commend the first generations of Indian people who came here and who really worked hard to build their own cultural space and a religious space in Northern Ireland,